You're listening to an Awkward Human podcast on the 5x5 network. If you want to find out more about this show and all the other cool stuff that we do, visit awkwardhuman.com.
What do you get when you mix creamy soft serve ice cream and a dollop of fresh semen? You get a shake with cum in it. A cum shake. After the European horse meat scandal, many countries had to find new uses for the horse population. With wig hair demands on the decline due to cheaper synthetic alternatives, horses were faced with eventual extinction. We at Chick-fil-A decided to step in and purchase a horse for each of chains and hire a gay man to masturbate the horse for fresh cum shakes all day long. While we do not support gay rights, we strongly support our gay employees and want the world to know it. We pay a fair salary to our gay semen extractors and the horses they masturbate for a living. The result is a locally sourced, ethical cum shake you'll suck dry every time. Join us for silky smooth soft serve mixed with the natural flavors of horse cum, now at Chick-fil-A. You'll get the cum shakes just thinking about it. Cum shakes, saving horses and your taste buds, one orgasm at a time.
If you're feeling a little confused at the moment as to what's going on in this episode, you might want to go back and listen to 215, because this is a two-parter, and I'm not sure that reference makes sense without having heard it. So if you are confused, just go back an episode. You probably missed one. If not, if you didn't miss it, then I don't know. I hope you figure it out. Anyway, let's get into the second half of our episode. Oh, hey, everybody. You might realize that there's a different person on that side of the room. That side of there. Oh. My finger's pointing to it on the video. Her on the video. You're not.
Am I not on the video?
I meant the square on the video screen, but it's hard to tell. There, I'm actually doing it now. Okay. So, you want to look at that one.
This is a review of a blanket.
Yeah, we're going to review a blanket because we got sent one. It came in this bag. If you're not watching this on the video, you're probably going to miss a few things here.
It's a blanket if you need to picture it in your mind.
Yeah, and you'll get more information as we go. But
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay.
We get emails sometimes about products to review, and most of the time, I'm like, well, I don't know if they're what they want it for. I mean, like what they're expecting, like if they think I still write a life hacker, and I usually just don't want to deal with it. And for whatever reason, this time I guess I have a soft spot for blankets or something.
I got soft spot.
Yeah. I got a request for a blanket and to review a blanket on our blog, and I'm like, well, we don't really do reviews on the blog. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I feel like we don't update the blog enough for it to really be of significant value. And I thought, okay, well, the podcast would be a better place. So I said, hey, would you like us to review it on the podcast instead? Because we can do that, and we have more people paying attention to that, so it's probably better for you anyway. And so they said, sure, we've never had a podcast review. So they sent the blanket over, and we're
That's all the behind-the-scenes stuff for you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. Well, we've never had a review on here before, and this is kind of weird.
Yeah, we have.
We have?
The Autoblow.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
millions of views on YouTube.
With this, I feel like this requires explanation, because why would we be reviewing a blanket on an advice show? Exactly, Erica. You got possessed by the devil. Thank you for getting it out.
If your eardrums have exploded, sorry.
Might have.
Well, we'll just turn on the subtitles for you.
If you listen to our last episode about the carrot of my tonsils, now you know why there's so many holes in them.
I did see that.
You did?
Well, no, you put it on Facebook, and I was amazed.
Okay.
But there's like
I was
that
like,
thing.
that podcast just went up now.
Yeah.
So
no. Well, you put on your Facebook.
You could not have known.
And they have what is it called? It's like things can hide tonsil stones. You can get tonsil stones, and that's how they're made.
That's nothing compared to the carrot that stabbed me. Anyways.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Fuck you is not like the carrot. The carrot is worse.
The carrot's worse. A whole
get
carrot.
Your facts straight.
No. I can show it to you sometime. I have it laminated.
Okay. God, okay. Sorry.
Of course she has it laminated, right?
Sorry.
You laminated it.
I know. Because we do that. I'm not saying, like, you're weird.
The way you said it was
I'm
totally
saying
like,
we're weird.
Sam, of course she has it laminated.
Yeah, but
Don't
I
you
made
know
a face.
Erica?
I made a face.
Yeah, that was the face that you make when you're like, my friend's weird.
No, I was like, trying to look at myself.
Oh, that's what that was.
You were this way. I'm this way.
That looks like sarcasm.
Or
Like,
that I'm having an
yourself.
aneurysm. It's kind of a hard thing to do. I haven't practiced that one.
And that's how
before.
we feel about the blanket, you guys. Thank
It's
you.
a big aneurysm.
Well, so
It made me sneeze.
this blanket, which the other thing before you tune out here, because you're thinking
already.
I don't need to know about a blanket. Maybe you'll be surprised and you'll like it. It is very warm. And it's very big, and you can also win one if you write in, and I guess we have to come up with something for you to do.
Oh, you know
For
what they
fun.
could do?
What?
They could find someone else who's had a piece of vegetable stuck in their tonsil. And
no one's gonna submit to
contact
that.
us. You don't think of the 8 billion people in the world, someone else has had this?
Yeah, how many of those 8 billion? Do we have 8 billion now? We're up to officially up there. Or
think
you
I
ran it
heard
up?
that.
Right, well, I'm gonna
8
look that up right
billion.
now. But however many people we have in the world, most of them are not listening to this show.
Okay, fine. Well, one out of our whatever
Don't be
number
so
of listeners
pessimistic.
must know someone who's had this.
7.442. Not quite there
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
That was in
Almost.
2016,
One
day.
I guess. So
You're
One
very
day.
It's closer to 7 though.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, the blanket. You can
we're
win
up to
it.
7.6.
You can
Oh,
rent it?
ha! It's closer to 8 now.
Do they win this
Win
one or a
it.
completely new one?
They win a new one. The company's actually going to ship it, so you don't even have to wait for me, which takes
What
like
a
a month usually.
deal!
Wow.
Um,
And it's at a $90 value, which to me,
Yeah, that's on sale though, because
It's very
apparently normally it's 150, which
It's $150.
I know that seems pretty high for a blanket. Like 90, you could make an
How
argument
much do
for
people
maybe.
pay
But
for sleeping bags these days? Because I haven't bought
I
one
don't-
since I was 10.
well,
Same.
I got one that was $20 on Prime, but that was because I planned on getting rid of it because I had to put on that I think it was cream for scabies, even though I didn't have scabies.
Oh,
So my
I
doc-
forgot when you used to sleep in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, no, my what you mean for 2 days? But my doctor.
You did though.
I had a problem where I was itching, and it was because of some new binder in the medication I had been taking for a long time that they changed it, and it turned out to be that, and we figured that out eventually. But I walked in with like scratch. I was like, I've been scratching a lot, and I'm getting scabs, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I looked at myself in the mirror and have dots all over me. Her first response was, when you walked in, I immediately thought scabies. Which is exactly what you want to hear from anybody ever. Yeah, you look like a disease.
Do you think this blanket would be good for people who have scabies?
No, because I just needed something to be. I had to have this cream all over me, and I didn't want it to get on the bed sheets
Yeah.
or have to worry about it getting what would happen after washing them if it got stuck to sheets or whatever. If they smelled forever, I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I got a $20 sleeping bag, and I slept in that. So I could throw it out.
wow.
When it was over, which is very wasteful, and I'm sorry. But
So I'm looking online, and there are sleeping bags that are quite expensive. There's a $600 sleeping bag.
Oh my god, that's more than a tent.
I mean, it seems like if you want a low grade sleeping bag, you can get it for like $20.
yeah, I think it's when this stuff becomes more insulated and that can be used for when they have like safety ratings and whatnot. Like this has a 40-degree plus temperature rating, which I assume means that it will keep you it'll be able to keep you at least that warm.
Yeah, the sleeping bag I had when I was a kid was good up until minus 10 degrees Celsius, and you don't want to be camping when it's that cold.
Can you be
so-
naked in it?
I mean, you can always be naked in it, but
But I mean, like, was it like if it was -9 degrees and you were naked in it, you're fine?
no, it was like you probably wouldn't like get frozen.
Okay.
You wouldn't
Important.
be comfortable. Like it was one of those things where like if it was 50 degrees out, I might still be cold
Mm-hmm.
if there were parts of me that were exposed. But if I was completely in the sleeping bag with layers, I could like be fine up until minus 10. And I feel like that was about $100. So this blanket at the full price of $150 seems very high.
Oh, I thought you were going the other way.
Well, because it's less than a sleeping bag, it's a blanket. It's like half a sleeping bag.
Yeah, but you could fold it over and become a
Yeah,
sleeping bag.
but I mean, if you're camping
true.
and you're making a bed, and I don't know. It depends on what you would want to use it for. It looks like it's waterproof.
It is
Yeah.
waterproof.
It is waterproof. Okay,
Mhm.
and it comes in a bag, which I'll show you when it gets back to my camera. But there's a bag. It seemed like it was bulging out of the bag quite a bit and didn't fit in the bag all that well. But that would be
It had a muffin
about,
top.
What?
It had a muffin top.
It was just bulging, and I'm like kind of afraid to try to put it back in now.
That's not a good thing.
Well, but I felt that way about literally everything
I
that
always
has had
feel
a
that way
bag
about
like that.
sleeping bags,
I don't know
yeah.
why they make them so small. I may be wrong about it.
Because they're compact.
We're gonna update this after we have had more time with it. I just wanted to bring up the blanket now and talk about it a little bit.
We'll pass it around.
Wait, we're not reviewing it now?
Well, we're doing half of it now and half of it
we review the price
in a couple, because we wanted to let everybody know that it's that you can win one if you enter the contest to win it, which we will come up with by the time this is over. But it's so that's available. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the blanket, and then you can decide if you want to do that and try to win one, and then it will be sent to you by someone responsible, more so than myself. And then
about
you'll have
when
this
do you
lovely
think
blanket.
they'll get the blanket? Calculating like when this is going to air and everything.
God.
Well, so
wow.
so there. Ideally, you'll see this on episode 216, and we'll announce the winner on episode 218.
Yeah, the first thing Sam did
So like
is she
August.
smelled it.
Smells like
No, July.
nothing.
But by the time they get the blanket.
Oh, we got the blanket like 3 days after they said they shipped it. So,
Oh.
and
Well, 'cause
that
I
was
was
not. They didn't like
thinking-
expedite it.
Maybe they could send us a Halloween story because we're always asking for them, but we always ask too late.
Oh,
But
well,
this is a little early.
why not a
maybe.
4th of
cozy.
July story?
Because it'll be too
Is
late.
it?
It is
Will
cozy.
it?
Oh, I
By the
like
time
this.
they-
Mhm. Well, we don't need to brainstorm
is
that out
good.
loud. Let's talk about the
Oh,
blanket. We can get to
my.
that at the end.
I don't think we need to talk about it. I think Sam is doing everything she needs to do with the blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you really
she's
should be
modeling it
watching the
for
video
you.
for this one. You can find us at youtube.com/awkwardhuman.
Have you modeled professionally, Sam?
No.
It's not on, it's not on the
But I
camera
think now I
anymore.
should.
You should.
It's
I think it's your
soft.
career.
Mhm.
It feels
Like
it
a
feels
sleeping bag.
sturdy, like it wouldn't rip.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't smell, that which is good.
Oh, that's good.
It probably won't retain or absorb smells or sweat.
Yeah, it
So
does
that's
seem
good.
like that's the case. And
I like it.
I like it. I like it
give
as
a 10 out of 10.
we're
Wow,
not.
bringing endorsement in.
We're not really dog.
Colors are good.
I mean, camping people. We're dog people. And I was thinking like, oh, this is a nice
I
warm
don't think
blanket.
they have to be mutually exclusive.
Right. Dogs can't.
They're not. I'm just saying like we're dog. I was meant to say we're camping people. We're not camping people. We're not camping
That's
people.
it.
We don't
We're not having people. That's
Poison
good
ivy.
enough.
I had a very bad reaction once, and it kind of turned me off from the whole camping experience.
Poison ivy will do that.
It was like an elephant man level problem. That's what
feels
I
like
looked like.
It would be warm. My only question is, I can't really see it from this angle, but what does the stitching look like? Is it going in lines, or are they kind
No,
of...
It looks
it's
like
kind
a
of like
design.
curved.
Triangle
It's
It's
wave,
like a
kind of.
design?
Yeah, it's like a loop.
It's like a loop.
Like it loops down and back
It
up,
reminds
and
me a
then
little
it's
bit
like.
of the inner lips of a vagina.
Oh, yeah, it kind
Okay.
of looked like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
An infinite vagina that was sectioned off into a blanket.
Yes, infinite
You
vagina.
know what? But that's
should
that's
be their
fun
name.
detail.
I
The
don't
infinite
think so.
vagina blanket?
Infinite vagina.
Do you want to
That
pass
would
it to
work for
me? Is
someone.
it my turn?
Is everyone enjoying all the blanket
I
sounds?
like it. It's nice.
Oh, that went right
So
in front
we've
of my
smelled
camera.
it, we've sounded it, we've
It's
typed
warm.
You sounded it.
Does it
You've,
feel
you've,
warm?
you've inserted a metal
We've
rod
made
in
it
its
make
urethra.
noise. We've
Yes.
shown it.
I
Are
mean-
there any senses we haven't explored? I
don't-
think we've hit them. Oh, we haven't licked it. Richard, will you lick the blanket?
Yeah, that's probably good for you to do it. How does it taste?
It doesn't have a taste.
Oh,
it
great.
tastes like something you'd lick that doesn't have a taste. You know what I
Great.
mean?
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
That's what we like in a blanket.
Well, the blanket's quite large. It's 54 by 80 inches, which is
I think
apparently these. Oh, I
Yes.
thought sheets were smaller. I thought that was okay. So it's
like my only
would fit
complaint
on a double.
is that it's very slippery on the skin. So like
Yeah.
maybe if you're wearing regular clothes, you won't notice it as much. But like
If you're naked.
it's like a sleeping bag. It's gonna slip unless you just like stay still. Like stay still.
It's the
You're
type
fine.
of blanket where I feel, and I'm assuming I would only use this for camping and not like at home, but I feel like I would want a sheet under it.
yeah.
Because
Yes.
otherwise it would be slipping on my body, but with the sheet, it would just be on top of it.
And then
Oh,
slip
yeah.
off the sheet. Yeah.
I
get
honestly don't find that texture to be uncomfortable when sleeping. Maybe it helps to have cream on your body.
It
Do you
is really
normally
warm
sleep
though.
with the top sheet, though? In your bed?
I sleep with usually only a top sheet. I usually throw off the quilt thing.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
pretty much a 2-layer person.
I
What?
I
What do you- how
prefer
do
to
you
have a thicker layer, but I like the feeling of our quilt. It's not as soft.
How do you
I think I
sleep,
like
Sam?
rougher textures.
I don't. use a top sheet. That is
A lot of people
controversial.
hate top sheets.
I
don't
will
know
not get into
why.
top sheets, but I do not use a top sheet.
do you use?
when you
A
have that,
top sheet. I don't use a top sheet.
I had a conversation on Facebook before I gave up on Facebook about this, and against people who were not in favor of top sheets, and I'm like, that's cool. You don't have to like it, but
And
some of us do.
We're talking about flat sheets,
yeah,
right?
just
Flat
one
ones
little. It's like
with
you're
the
wearing
scrunchy
nothing.
one below.
But it's
Why even
perfect.
have
It's
it?
perfect if you don't
Well,
have
it's
air
under a
conditioning,
blanket.
I hate
and that's all you want to use.
Erica,
But because of
Erica,
putting them on.
Erica,
What do you use, Sam?
Here's the thing with top sheets for me. I have active feet. I have active feet when I sleep, so they go like this. My feet go like this. They rub up against each other and they just go like this. So
It's
by
so
the time,
cute, yeah.
so then the top sheet gets all the way down to the bottom, and then shoved into the bottom crevice of my bed, and then I'm cold. So I just I gave up on top sheets when I was 15.
So what do you sleep with? Just a blanket?
Just the
Like a comforter?
Just a comforter.
Or, okay.
Is it the
Or
type
the
of comforter?
duvet.
Yeah.
Duvet.
Okay. So it's like
the duvet.
the duvet that goes in like a
Yeah.
a sheet.
It's like
basically.
it's like a summer duvet. It's light, and I just sleep with that.
Wait a minute. So you take the duvet with no comforter inside the duvet?
Well, is that what goes
Well,
inside
usually
the
Because the
duvet?
duvet-
And
Oh,
then
the
there's
duvet
a-
is a slip.
Yeah.
And
So
then
yeah, I put a
there's a
comforter
comforter.
Okay,
inside
okay,
the
okay.
duvet. I'm just
But it's like the
I don't know.
difference
I don't really-
between like an all-in-one blanket or like
Yes.
a duvet
Right.
Yes.
situation.
So I do put a duvet on it and comforter inside, and I sleep with that. Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
think we've got this all settled.
Thank
so that's
you.
great.
Anyway, I'm going to continue my review.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
quickly,
it's
though.
very warm. It'll keep you
It is.
warm. I think it's good for camping. And like if you go to an outdoor theater, like if you
Yeah,
want
it
to,
would be- it
for
would be
like
good
if you
for,
want to go
like,
to
a-
Cinespia or like to
do you think it would be good with the
Pasadena.
dew?
You
You know,
mean-
how
I don't know
you
what
think
the- oh,
dew
yeah,
be?
sure.
It wouldn't get wet.
Are all
Yeah.
movie theaters in Pasadena outdoors?
In
Or
Pasadena,
Pasadena.
I don't know what it's called, so I just called it Pasadena.
I'm from Pasadena.
that was more like
Woot
a
woot! I live there.
So you know about the movie theater problem.
I know
then.
about-
They took all the roofs off.
at City Hall,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. What is happening?
I think it wasn't really at City Hall where we saw that movie. I don't think.
Was it outside of?
It was
City Hall?
not.
It was near it,
Yeah,
and also
it
it
was
was like
a-
a popular situation. Like it was there that one time.
Yeah. This,
Oh,
not their
it was
Well,
you
like
know
a
what? You guys
traveling
forget
outdoor
everything
movie.
I just said. I'm an asshole.
But-
Here you go,
Well, no,
Erica.
I've already
Oh.
said it. I sat with the blanket on Monday.
Well, you're just
I'm handing
terrible
it back.
examples
I'm
in
handing
this
it
case.
back to Adam.
I think we have to go now.
Yeah, well, first we have to tell people how they can win the blanket. I think what would make sense is to have people submit an awkward story that includes a blanket in it.
Can
Because
it be about a wet blanket? Metaphorically speaking.
if they
Sure.
peed on it?
No, like someone who's a
No,
wet blanket.
I don't think.
No.
I don't think it can. I think it has to actually involve a blanket, so
Okay.
that even if it was like 20 years ago or less or more, it's something that at the time you could at least have used a new blanket. There's that one story we got once about a mattress, right, where someone died on it or came on it. I don't remember
Oh.
which.
I have no idea what you're talking
But-
about.
Who hasn't come on a mattress?
Oh no, it was the couch. It was that girl with the couch. Remember? Something happened bad on the couch, and she wanted to get rid of the couch.
I remember
But
television and Diamond.
yeah, that was like in episode 8. But this was more recent. This should be in your memory more.
Couch.
Yeah,
The
well, it
girl
doesn't
with the
matter.
couch.
Someone remembers it. But the point is, if you've had an accident with a blanket, or if it's just an awkward story and you want a blanket, as long as there's a blanket in the story, it can be short, it can be long. I know there are a lot of people who like to write in the long ones. The length isn't important. The important thing is that it's blanket related and it's entertaining.
Yeah,
and-
your name will go into a raffle. We'll pull it out of the hat.
No. We're gonna pick
Oh.
the best one.
Oh, well, I don't think that's fair.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
it's story
subjective.
time.
But here's what will be more fair about it: if you if you submit a story and you would like something additional, that you want a guaranteed prize for putting in your 30 seconds to 10 minutes that this will take, then mention in your letter that you would like a runner-up prize, and we'll send a sticker pack. You should also send your address or wherever you want the blanket to be mailed if you do win, so we don't have to go back and forth and figure that out. If you're not comfortable with doing that, just mention, I will send my address if I win. I don't want you to know where I live so you come and murder me or whatever you're worried about. I promise you we're too lazy to do anything. But yeah, if you want...
And have morals.
Yeah, that too.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I
if
don't
they-
want to murder
but
anyone.
they may have decided we already do not have morals if
Okay,
they're thinking
okay.
that. So but they may not know how lazy we are about murdering and other things. like mailing stuff. So that's why you will benefit here if you win more than if you don't. But if we pick your story, or if we don't pick your story, I will mail you stickers. That is easier than mailing a package. So that'll hopefully happen
make your
faster.
story shorter than those instructions.
Yeah, or this review, which was supposed to be 5 to 10 minutes. But Erica, would you like to guess how long it's been?
15?
18.
Well,
And
we
we're still
stopped
going.
and told like 3 other stories during the review, and it
Yes.
took you 5 minutes to explain to people how to win a blanket. So,
But this is good because we're less time doing that than the other stuff.
we're
But-
gonna just end this now. Best of luck.
Yes, and we will.
What is the product called?
No.
But we didn't say that, did we?
Erica's like,
Christ.
God damn it.
I thought I said it at the beginning. It's a
I think you
Montem
did.
Sneaky Snuggler Puffy Camping Blanket. I think I said it so many times
Montem.
before we started recording that there's going to be a link in the show notes, so you can find it there at 5x5.tv/awkward/216. We're putting this on 216, even though that's
So you don't have to explain.
it's
that.
recorded in advance.
You
Well, no,
don't.
I do because they have. It's going to seem like they have 2 weeks to do this, but you basically have 1 week unless everybody's super lazy and no one sends anything in, as sometimes happens. And I don't know what the blanket desire here is, but yeah, just go to awkward.email, send us in a blanket related story. It could even be a question if you actually have one of those that relates to a blanket. Or you could make something up if you really want. That's fine too. Whatever is most interesting. The only thing we're going to judge is I guess the entertainment value. And I think we're going to have Darren for that episode. So if you would like to be judged by him, that is the goal. But that will air in 2 weeks. But please send these in a week from this episode because this is being recorded a week in advance.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
You guys go.
Pour him some
questions
water.
and,
Okay, yeah, we can share John.
Sharesies.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
share.
No, Lindsay, you don't get any.
No.
Erica, do
It's
you want me
like
to get
very
you
warm
started
in
so we're
here.
not
I don't need
watering
a lot.
ourselves during the show here?
I don't need a lot.
Question is from Jeremy. He said not a lot. I'm Jeremy, 28-year-old straight male. My fiance is Rachel, and we are on course for marriage in September.
Yay.
Rachel is
Yeah,
an
we're Mike and
amazing
Rachel.
woman. She runs a shop out of our home that she made so popular I could quit my job and help her
Meth.
with the shipments. She's beautiful, kind, and is always thinking of me. I try to be just as good for her. After 7 years, I can't wait to marry the love of my life.
Aw, Jeremy.
The end.
knows what's coming.
But I have a secret that's eating me up inside, and I don't know what to do. It's that when I was 16, I accidentally got my cousin pregnant.
Accidentally meaning you accidentally fucked her?
Don't worry, there's a lot of detail.
And I
Or you
thought-
didn't use a condom.
I thought the abortion was mutual, but now I don't know what to believe. Like, I never thought I was going to fuck my cousin in the first place because she was 14. It happened, though, and it's been haunting me since.
no, it happened. I'm sorry, that was just too big of a typo to not mention.
What happened is we would play a lot from when we were kids because her family lived, you mean your family? Lived around the corner from my street. Her mom was very social and physically.
This is laughing at when you say her family, you mean your family, and I was like, no, he means her family, but
it is his
also
family.
his family.
Okay, well, this sentence makes no sense, so I'm going to skip to the
ahead.
next
Wait,
one.
what does it say?
It was just
Her mom is
playful.
very social and physically.
So when my
he
cousin
probably
picked
means
that up.
physical.
Physically fit is probably what.
And-
Or
you just-
physical.
No, physical, because
Social and
he
physical.
talks about them touching.
Oh,
so I
okay.
think that's...
Okay.
It was just playful when we were kids, but when puberty came along, we were both mad horny that
That's
all
how
that
it
playful
happens.
and harmless touching led to
Yeah,
one
okay.
thing and then another.
This is Flowers in the Attic all over
I
again.
just remember feeling my heartbeat when just playing felt like attraction for the first time, and I saw it in her too.
Oh, he is still in love with her.
Then it's like seconds later, I'm orgasming in her, and I look down, and it's my cousin. It was like love and horror at the same time. Okay, I'm sorry. It does not go in that easily when you're 14. Not that I would know because I wasn't having sex when I was 14, but like, come on.
Well, I don't think it's... I don't think... they may have had trouble getting in. And it
He's
doesn't
being a
sound
little
like-
literary here. It's like before
Like,
I knew
before
it.
I knew it, there
Yeah.
was coming
He's
to
a,
my
it's
cousin.
a little flowery. I'm with you.
It was
Go
like
on.
love and horror at the same time. Like, dang, that was phenomenal. But also, what the heck did I just do? Me and my cousin still talked after that, and she wanted to keep fucking, but I got scared, so I kept saying no. But she got mad one time, and I let her blow me because I was afraid
Sweet.
she'd tell her parents or something, and because I was older and the boy, I'd get in trouble. Like, I know now she shouldn't have done that, but back then I was just scared. That all ended when she found out she was pregnant and thought she should get an abortion. I said that was fine with me if she was sure, and she was like, I'm not even 15. I'm not going to be a mom.
Oof.
I drove her to a clinic that was hours away because we grew up in a rural area of a southern state, and there aren't a lot
You
of
don't
places
say.
to get an abortion in farm country.
I had a real feeling that this was a southern tale. Go on.
Thank goodness for the World Wide Web, though. I definitely thought about this for a lot of years afterwards, but it was like if a reference to incest was on TV, or I just thought of it in the shower. When I met Rachel, it all sort of faded out of my mind more.
I get
and
that.
So you're
if I
jerking
did-
off to this
If
memory.
I did think about what I did with my cousin, it didn't bother me. I thought I was in the clear, and I asked Rachel to marry me. She's been my fiance for over a year now because her parents can't pay for the wedding like at all, and Rachel's business was booming. We waited to transition me into helping so she could take in more sales without getting buried in work that nobody could do alone. She had a helper already, and this is neither here nor there, but she's this little Filipino woman who doesn't talk and just packs boxes and takes them to the post office for $25 a day.
Okay.
That sounds like slave labor.
Yeah.
Minimum wage, hello.
I have a few things to discuss.
I mean,
Still in
unless
the
she's
South?
only working a couple of hours.
Is it acceptable in the South to work for $25 a day?
I mean,
Well, we
in
don't
the
know she's working
South,
for the
sure.
day.
People have worked for less. You know what I mean?
Devil's advocate,
In
'cause you guys are being a little
2018,
harsh.
is it
Acceptable to work for free in
as a
the South.
Filipino woman to get paid $25 a day?
Yeah, I don't know why it matters that she's a little Filipino woman. Like, that's more of my concern.
It's giving us a lot of context
Can we get back
into
to
this
the
situation.
incest?
I didn't think about my cousin so much until the wedding started. There's so much more,
I
guys.
just feel like you're reading
Yeah.
this in
There's
the
so
wrong
much.
accent.
Yeah.
The
Why-
wedding started.
we don't want to
The
turn you on.
wedding
to her.
started.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to
little
start having thoughts of
Filipino
incest in
woman.
the shower.
Yeah.
I didn't think about my cousin so much until the wedding started to become the real deal. Now it's like I'm going into my marriage with a gigantic secret, and I feel like I've got to tell her. Is that a bad idea? I know how it's selfish to tell a person a secret that will hurt them just so you feel better about not hiding it. Is that the same thing here? This was 12 years ago, so I didn't cheat, obviously. But what I did is not moral, I guess, and I don't want her to think that's who I am. I'm not the 16-year-old boy who touched his cousin's breast by accident and got possessed by lust. The other thing is my cousin has been saying when we call each
He's a
other
poet.
sometimes to catch up that she might regret the abortion. She hasn't dated too much since the abortion. She gets with guys for one-nighters or breaks up with them after a week because they're not good enough for her. I just don't know what this is, why this is a thing again all of a sudden.
Oh my
She
god.
tells me she doesn't even want kids. I'm just getting scared again that she might tell my fiance if I say the wrong thing. I think I'm just paranoid, but shouldn't I get out in front of this so Rachel doesn't get hurt if she finds out from my cousin or someone else who isn't me? I don't know what to think, to be honest. I want to tell Rachel everything and for her to tell me it's okay and she forgives me, and I don't want to lose her. I don't know what will happen if I tell her or if she found out from someone else. She doesn't judge people and forgives a lot. We've been in arguments, though, and her emotions are very powerful then. It's like arguing with a monsoon, where her feelings are pouring on you and you get so soaked in them that you can't feel your own feelings anymore.
Okay, Tennessee Williams. All
It's
right.
good, though,
I think you're
because-
complimenting him a little too much on the poetry, though. It's not like that was worded. No offense. Shit, what's your name? This is a long question. I gotta scroll up.
That's
Jeremy.
okay.
I feel I'm not
Are we
trying to
done?
shit on
I'm
Jeremy.
almost, and I'm so
Almost
close.
done. Let's go.
But
It's good,
That's
though,
what she said.
because I can understand why she gets upset. I just have to try and remember why I was upset more. Anyways, I think I'm rambling on now, and I guess
Oh.
that's it. Do you think I
Now?
should tell Rachel the truth or keep this a secret forevermore?
Oh my
Well, it sounds like all
that's,
this is.
that's a little, you know.
It sounds like the stress of this is kind of coming out in the idea that if you're getting married soon, your family will be there and your cousin will be there.
And she might say
and
something.
she might
get
say
drunk
something.
I didn't remember how long this was. But now it makes sense that I didn't remember like half of this, and I read it this morning. The thing is, though, it's like hearing it again. I'm like, yep. The one thing I do remember is that this is kind of I'm stumped by it. There's not a good answer.
Well, you and your cousin are absolutely still in love with each other.
The way he
I think
talks,
she might be in love with him.
it's not so much.
Definitely her to him.
It's
I don't
not so
know.
much that he's trying to be writerly. I think is that he's definitely still feeling these things.
He has a lot of
Yeah.
feelings.
He's describing
Look.
this in like a it was so
there-
hot kind of way.
Was this a
There are a lot of
virginity
likes
loss
in
for both
there.
of them?
I would
hope so.
assume.
I would. I just. I would be
I
able to look.
hope.
She's
These are
14.
the very
At least
big
for her.
moments,
This is
the
the South, though.
formative moments, and I feel like any person's life, or like your like loss of innocence, which just happened to happen with your cousin in the South, where you got her pregnant and then she had an abortion. So that's just like a lot.
Here's a question about abortions.
Yeah,
I know what.
I thought the parent had to be there when you're underage.
depends on where you go.
Yeah, I mean, they could have gone to like some back alley thing for all we know. I mean,
Yeah.
is that even
I mean, there's a world too where her parent was and she lied and said she had sex with somebody else. She probably didn't say that I fucked my cousin and got pregnant. I don't know how
That's
open the
quite possible.
abortion is, but you
Yeah.
probably need someone of age to like sign off with you.
Yeah, and this was prior to all the crazy laws. This was like in the golden age of abortion, if you could say that.
I mean, when isn't the golden age of abortion? I feel, as married people, I think it's important to just be honest with your spouse about everything, especially any sort of like formative thing or anything that sort of made you who you are, any issue that you might have. I have like unsavory things in my past that I've shared with you and vice versa. And you're right, you didn't cheat on your fiance because this happened when you were children before you'd ever met your fiance. But this sounds like something pretty intense that might be good for her to know, that you fucked your cousin and got her pregnant.
I think she should talk to the cousin. I mean, he should talk to the cousin first about this. That I'm having trouble. I want to tell my fiance. Are you comfortable with that? What do you
Regardless
think?
if she's comfortable.
Well, but he should still know what she's feeling about it and give her that respect too.
Sure, but when your marriage.
That's opening up a. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. No, I was gonna say like when you're entering into a marriage, it's sort of like this unwritten rule or written rule that you're number one and you're the most important and your feelings matter more. Like this is now first. And so I need to do whatever I need to do to protect this and be honest with you about this. And it's just as much his story as hers. You know?
Yeah, of course. But it is her story too. And I feel like, in the same way, it's not
tough
his.
because they're family.
He doesn't get.
They're
to,
a little bit more linked.
But just like he doesn't get to decide if the abortion happens, she doesn't get to decide what he does with his fiance. And it's like it's his life. He gets to make that decision. But it's still good to, I think, consult with people who are involved and let them have a say in it, unless they're like an asshole and shouldn't have a say in it.
But as a fiance, if the kissing cousins, and why wasn't that one of the titles of this episode? If the two cousins decided, if she was like, I don't want you to tell your fiance, that is, in my mind, not okay to the fiance. The woman who's entering into this marriage, I think, deserves to know this sort of backstory, because when she's sitting across from them at family reunions and when the cousin's at their wedding, I would want to know who all fucked my husband in the room, who's sharing my cake and listening to my vows.
But do you want to know 3 months before the wedding and then have to like deal with that meeting her and so on?
I would rather have that knowledge ahead of time, be able to work through that and talk through that and just figure out how I feel, than get married and then have that come out later.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's not like he can go to Rachel and say, I have something that I did when I was 16 years old that I'm not proud of and that I'm really uncomfortable with, and I don't want to hide it from you. But I don't know if it's something you'd want to know. And I don't want you to be, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, especially when it's at our wedding, because it has to do with my family. Like, it would be nice to be able to say that, but I don't think like he can say that, because obviously at that point she's going to be like, yeah, I want to know.
Here's the tough thing for me is like, I think the correct answer is not possible, because he's been with this woman for too long for him not to have told her.
Yeah,
like
that's
the problem for me is like, if this came up now in my relationship and I'm not engaged and I haven't been with Jacob for 7 years, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Erica,
but do you
resist
think
the Suits metaphor? Let it happen.
What Suits metaphor?
With Harvey and the British therapist.
There was no incest.
No, there wasn't any incest, but he didn't tell her about something. It's such a terrible example of relationships. I figured we had to.
Erica, do you
put that in there? But apparently, it was not memorable enough for you, even though.
But it's not the same, because they were together for like 2 months.
No, they were together for a long.
Nobody watches Suits but you two, so.
No, literally nobody watches Suits. Meghan Markle did not watch Suits. She was on it, right?
Yes.
I'm guessing. That's the only way I know Suits exists. Question.
Yeah.
If Jacob right now in your relationship came to had this conversation with you, do you feel like you would break up with him over it, or do you feel like that's just something you need to process? Because it's something that happened 12 years ago.
Right. So
it was fucked up for him too.
I don't really know, because I think I'd have to think about this in a very real way to know what would my reaction be. Because it's hypothetical. But my point is, like, this would already be too long to not have told me something. Like, I mean, I guess the context would be like, hey, I'm going to Montana for the first time, right? And I've only met his parents, and we would be in the car on the way to Montana and be like, hey, there's something I never told you. I sort of fucked my cousin when I was 16, and you might meet her, so I just wanted you to know. I would be like, I think I need to turn around.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
you rolled
think
it out like that.
But like my
But
point,
wouldn't you have rather had the chance to like know than never?
for sure.
know?
But my point is like I would feel kind of cheated in the sense that we both talked about our prior past relationships, sex history.
Sure,
and
the
all
ship
that.
has sailed on that.
And
though.
I would be like, it's not so much that it's shitty that you fucked your cousin. It's shitty that like this huge thing happened and you're just now bringing it up.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Can't go back in
also,
It's a
time.
hard thing to do.
Right,
and
but
then
I
after a while,
feel
enough
like
time
it's
passes.
so late. This woman is gonna be mad about it no matter what, because like they're already engaged. They've been together for so long. She's met this other woman. Like it's so weird now.
Well, that's why I'm saying
Do
you
you
say
think
it.
you would get over
We
it
don't know
before
that.
Jacob, though? Like, obviously not driving to Montana to go see the cousin and sit across from her.
Well, I'm trying to like
Like-
compare to like this woman.
But say it like,
situation.
say it was
Right.
the same thing. Like,
If-
say you have a big event in 3 months and Jacob's like, hey, P.S. I fucked my cousin. Do you think in that 3 months you'd be able to get over it? 'Cause
I
it doesn't
don't know.
fundamentally-
I don't
Get
know.
over it in about
It doesn't-
5 minutes.
yeah.
If,
No,
if
it is,
Richard
because
rolled
it
this
doesn't
out,
fundamentally change.
No, and here
I think I'd be honestly excited if you said something like this to me, Richard. Just because, not because
threesome.
Oh no, not in that sense. More of like I'm like, ooh, this is
Here's
this is
the-
racy,
here's-
and I would want to know more about what happened because it's so weird. But I wouldn't
Not like he's,
care.
like,
No,
saying,
here's-
like,
you're
I
not gonna do
murdered
it again.
somebody when I was 16.
My
But
point
that
is,
would be a big.
I
that would
wouldn't
be
say,
something
oh no, I have to
completely
break up with him. I'm
You'd be
saying
mad.
I don't
Why
think
didn't this come up?
3
We haven't
months.
had a murderer right in yet. I hope that.
I don't
man,
know
what a
that
shame.
3 months would be long enough for me not to feel weird about it. I'm not saying like
Sure.
I'd be like, no, I can't be with you, but like 3 months later, I'd probably still be thinking like, he
Look.
fucked his cousin when he was 16.
Yeah.
But here's
Yeah,
the
I would
thing.
definitely think
But it's
about
like
that
worse
at my
after the
wedding.
wedding.
I think
right?
about it all the time. This is going to be a thing
That's
for
the
a long
problem.
time.
It's like he
'cause
should have done this a
family.
year ago.
But that's
The
he
thing
He
should
should have done
is-
this 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
he
that
can't
too.
go back and do that though.
Yeah.
So what's
But
the,
so at this point, is it what he's saying, or he's like, is this just gonna make it worse for my wife? Like, is this the type of thing that I should just protect her from? You know?
no, Richard. go.
Here's the thing. Up until this point, it was not consequential to the relationship.
Yeah.
This is something that he feels very ashamed about,
Yes.
clearly, because he never told her.
But she's met the cousin, so you can't say it's not consequential.
I don't think it's consequential at that point.
At that point, we didn't
The
know we
thing
were
is,
entering into this family.
Now
together.
they got engaged. They've been engaged for over a year. Now this wedding is coming up, and it's a very real thing that's about to
Yes.
happen.
Yeah.
That is huge in a person's life, and he has this thing in his mind, and he's like, I don't know if I should tell her or not. This is the perfect time to tell her
Yes.
because
I
if
don't know if it's a perfect.
well,
time.
okay, no,
Yeah.
it's not the perfect
Could
time.
be
It's
better.
than
but
every
I
day
agree.
that passes.
Let's just
waited-
say that there is no perfect time to tell.
I
somebody
waited.
5 years
that you
ago.
got your cousin pregnant when you were 16.
You've waited
Yeah.
this whole time, and your wife. If your wife took this and was like, "We can't get married. We have to break up now. Like we're never gonna be together because of this thing that you did when you were a horny teenager
Yeah.
with your cousin that
Yeah.
you grew up with." Like, it wasn't like you raped your cousin. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
like this
But
was a
don't
thing
say
that
accidental. Don't say
you
accidental.
guys did
Yeah, you
this
wanted
thing.
to put your dick in her.
You guys did this thing.
describe
You
her
guys were
lustfully.
You guys
very
had
young.
sex.
Yeah.
You guys are in the South.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's to me, if Adam told me this thing, like I did this one thing one time, I'd be like, oh, I'd probably laugh. Actually,
Yeah,
like
I mean, I think
my
you'd have a
actual
similar
reaction,
reaction.
I would be like, that's weird, and I would laugh. It wouldn't destroy our relationship because that happened. What did he say? 16 years ago or whatever, 12 years ago. Like,
But it's knowledge you need to have to like figure out.
yeah,
the way
like
you're
I
gonna
would like to
process.
have that
Yeah.
knowledge, and it wouldn't ruin the relationship. If it was like 3 months prior to the wedding and I had to see that cousin or whatever, I think I would just be like, oh, that's weird.
I mean, it's different
But-
when you're gay too, though, because if I did this with a female cousin
And
it
got her
would-
pregnant, right?
yeah, it'd be like, well, I'm not really worried about that
But
happening
even
again.
if you had
or-
fucked a male cousin and you had to go see him at an event, it would just change things for you a little bit.
I mean,
But
to
you
put it
would-
into
Yeah.
context a little bit,
but it's not. There's nothing
I
wrong with gay
hung-
You were
incest,
16.
technically.
no.
Like nothing bad
When
happens with that.
when Adam and I were dating,
biologically.
it was like a month into the relationship or so. He had a party, invited me. I found out that the guy he had slept with right before dating me was gonna be there, and they never
Oh.
officially broke up.
Wait, what?
Darren.
And
oh,
so,
knowledge
I
that
was
would have
like,
been
no,
good
that
for
was-
you to have.
that,
and so,
yeah.
So-
That's how they
but no,
met.
this is okay. You there was someone who I actually had a relationship with prior, like right before you.
but I never met that person.
That wasn't right
yeah,
before though.
But but it was pretty close.
Carlos?
Carlos was right before Richard.
But I didn't meet
You
him.
dated
I'm
so
not
many
talking
other
No, I know,
about-
but
Back to your point.
Darren was so long ago, I hadn't even thought of it.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that like I knew this thing, so it was awkward to meet this guy that I was gonna be that had just been
For,
with
like, 5
Adam.
seconds.
But like it was
Darren a
fine
lot.
after that.
Yeah.
And so I think I have that context in it as well as like, yes, it's your cousin, but at the same time it happened so long ago and you guys don't have that relationship anymore. I mean, the way you talk about it, maybe you do. And I think
It's
that's
very
the issue.
lustful.
I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I think that's the
You need to
issue,
decide
too.
if you have feelings
I
for
think
your
the
cousin
person
before you get
who's
married.
writing, Jeremy.
I was like,
Yeah, Jeremy.
who's
He
talking
talks
their
about
cousin?
her like
It's
he
a
still
very
thinks,
fond
oh, it
memory
was
for
so
him.
hot.
Yeah.
It was
What's your
so
first
hot.
sexual experience? And if that's the thing you're thinking about when you're like jerking off in the shower, that's something separate too. But if you still feel like you have sexual feelings for your cousin, that's
Yeah, you need to
something
work
very
on that.
I think he needs closure around this situation. He clearly doesn't have that,
I think-
regardless of what his feelings for her currently are.
Yeah, I think
And it's gonna be hard to talk to his fiance about that until he has closure. But he should do both of those things soon.
Yeah, I think talk to the fiance first. I think own what you did. It's what Richard was saying. Like, don't be like, I accidentally got her pregnant. No, you didn't
had
accidentally do
sex.
shit.
But-
you guys fucked. It happened. Like, move on.
I wouldn't talk
and
to
then,
her.
I would say talk to the cousin afterwards and just be like, hey, I told my fiance about this. I mean, also gives the cousin a chance to, like, if she wants to skip the wedding.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
And that's
he-
one less plate you have to pay for. So I all of that. But seriously, like, it gives a chance for you and the cousin to kind of put it behind you too, to be like, okay, it's out in the open now. Somebody else knows about this. We can move on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I get the impression that the cousins maybe hung up on him a little bit.
They're both
based
hung up
her-
on each other.
Yeah,
it
they
sounds like.
absolutely are.
But
They're
it
gonna
might
fight
not
at the
be
wedding.
like a love thing. It might just be like, this is a weird thing that happened and never got resolved, and it's been hanging on us
It's a
forever.
crazy shared
But
experience.
I would be hesitant to talk to the fiance prior to finding some closure, only because if she's concerned about him, perhaps if he comes across like, oh, he still has feelings for her and says the wrong thing and gives her that impression, he should be able to explain why he doesn't. So if he can't do that, I think he should talk to the cousin first and try to get closure there. But if he's going to do that, like, not very much should preempt the conversation with his fiance. I'm not 100%, and I'm never going to be 100% sure that this is a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's less likely to be a problem, even if the wedding gets pushed or something.
It's not a good conversation because it's not a good situation. A bad this being worse is you never telling her and this coming out in a bad
Or
way.
him telling her after the wedding. 'cause
Yeah.
If
That's how
it
I
happens
feel.
after
That's
the
very
wedding,
selfish.
then
would
you've done
feel
something
like a
wrong.
betrayal.
Yeah,
And-
definitely. You
and
got
the-
to tell her beforehand.
The fact that you're feeling this way now tells us, I think, that you know that this is something you needed to tell her already.
Yeah.
And when do I tell her? And the answer is as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's a ticking time clock on this.
To go with the cliche, you might lose her if you tell her now, but you will definitely lose her if you tell her after the wedding. That is, I think, what we're settling on here.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't go that
I
far,
think
but
right. I don't know
that
how she's gonna
far.
react. I think we all agree he should have told her before, tell her as soon as possible. But I guess I think he should just be prepared for her reacting poorly.
and allow her to.
Because it's now she's so far down the line. It's 3 months from the wedding. Everything is planned. She has this thing that for me it would be like, oh, I don't really know you. Like there's this aspect of you that I don't know because presumably they've talked about past relationships and stuff like that, and this didn't come up. And it's like you've met this person. Like it would be weird even if it was just a friend that she knew
Right.
well and that she didn't
And
know
you
they had a
didn't-
sexual history.
You left me out of this information. And I had
Exactly.
to face
And
this
the
person.
abortion, well, again, not something that he did that was wrong. It's like, oh, that's a much bigger thing than having a one night stand with someone. Like if, you know, you found out, oh, John got someone pregnant and they had an abortion and that person was in your life, you'd be like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be hurt that you didn't tell me sooner because having to have faced this person without that knowledge in
with
the past
some pretty
changes
heavy
things-
knowledge.
would have changed things
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So I think you should definitely be prepared for her having various emotions and maybe not wanting to have the wedding in 3 months. Like maybe she'll be like, I need more time.
Yeah,
I
and
need to
give her
figure
the
this shit out.
time if
But
she wants that.
yeah, just like I guess don't be surprised if she feels like she doesn't really know you because this is kind of a big thing that you're like
Yeah.
bringing up.
and give her that space to have her
It's-
feelings.
But it's one of those things like if I were in Rachel's situation and Richard was the Jeremy in here, if he had told me right before the wedding, I'd understand that and that would make sense to me. Like, oh, well, you were struggling with this. You never found the right time to tell. I think it would be a little weird with us just because we tend to, share that shit. But not, but had we gotten married and sometime in, say the next 3 months after the wedding, you told me that, then I would be very concerned. If you waited like 8 years and I kind of found out by accident, or you just threw it out there oddly, it might be a little weird, but then I would, 8 years after marriage, I'd be like, okay, well, things have been fine for 8 years. I'd have that context, and it's like you were trying to block it out and didn't want to talk about it, and everybody's got a secret here or there that we're never going to know each other fully, so it shit happens. But if you told me 3 months after the wedding, it would feel like you were trying to hide it so that the wedding went through anyway, and I'd be constantly guessing and having issues of trust in that situation, and that's really the only time frame that would be a problem for me. That and maybe rolling it out like in the first month of dating, because that's maybe
weird.
I think that would be the best time for me. If I'm gonna find this out, I would rather someone like you go on a couple dates, like you're getting
I'd
along,
rather know earlier,
and then they're like, hey, this weird thing happened and it's been a problem before, so I just want to be super honest with you.
That's harder.
Yeah,
that was what would
That
make me feel the
early?
most comfortable though, out of all of these
yeah, but
scenarios.
most people
But would
not
you
be like
stick
that.
with it?
That's the thing. That early into dating, you can cut ties real easily
Yeah.
and use that as an excuse
of course,
to leave.
but
Yeah, so wait till things are like going well enough and you're being honest and there's usually
After
a
you
point in
say,
the
"I
first 3
love
months
you."
where you're
That's a
talking
big
about the
share.
secrets.
You say I slept with my cousin.
Yeah, exactly. That old cliche.
I love you, and I definitely love you more than my cousin, who I slept with and got pregnant when I was 16. Don't worry about it.
But if you're telling someone after a month, then you're totally okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, there's this thing that I've been hiding.
I
But not
don't think most
necessarily
people
that
would
you're
think
okay
that.
with it,
Most people
because
would
you
freak
run
out.
the risk of like ending something that could be really, really good because of the other person's perception of what you just told them.
Yeah.
That's a big share, and that's a big
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
No, that's nothing. It's fucking incest, dude. That's not.
I
something
know
you
what
just,
it is, but
Maybe
like,
you're just like, all right.
no, not
that's
at all.
cool.
I'm saying of all the scenarios we've discussed, that's the one that would make me the most comfortable
and
about that person, because I'd be like, they've dealt with it. They're bringing it up. It wouldn't make me feel like they still
Wait,
have
I don't
feelings.
think
I
he's
don't know.
dealt with it. As
I know.
different.
That's why I
Of
said
course.
there is
No
no
great
time
time.
to tell
and
somebody
everybody's
this.
a little bit different here. So pick whoever in this room is most like Rachel and go with their reaction.
But
'cause
at this point,
hit my own tooth.
you're getting
weird.
married. The deposits have been put down. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be if the marriage is off or the wedding's
It's
off or
not-
getting pushed, then you're gonna lose that deposit money.
I think it's a lot better
really
to
focused
push
on
the
Don't give him a
wedding than to
reason
get into the wedding with
not
the
to
wife
talk
being
about
like,
it.
I don't like the situation.
Yeah, no, I would just say just do it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old Arnold Schwarzenegger line.
It
do it
will
now.
come out, so it needs to be you who
Good
tells
luck, Jeremy.
All right, we got one more question. It's probably going to
my
end up
God.
being a two-parter episode at this point.
Wait, we have more?
One more.
One more.
Oh boy.
Muppets and Moms.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for this one the entire time.
Yeah, no, this is the nice light one, if you can say that.
we do
I
the
wanted to end
spirit
with this
one?
because it would be.
Spirit.
Spiritual one.
I think that was the dad.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I named that one a while ago.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go.
Oh, it's me. I thought it was
Yeah.
Erica for some reason.
Muppets
Sorry.
and Moms.
Yeah, so Brenda writes, Dear Awkward Humans, I wonder if you can explain my daughter's behavior because I know nothing of this new age crud. One morning, she came to breakfast bright and early for the first time since puberty struck. I had to ask, what has you so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, my darling?
I fucked my cousin.
Yeah, well, my lovely daughter explained she had experienced a lucid dream for the first time, and this means she could be awake inside of the dream. I think that's just an
Okay.
explanation.
Yep.
That's what a lucid dream is.
I assumed this was a harmless delusion and pressed her on the details for fun. She didn't want to tell me, but after several promises were made to listen judgment-free, I discovered she experienced a sex dream with a Muppet.
Oh my god.
She said he looked like Elmo but sounded like Barry White.
Oh, no.
No, she doesn't know who Barry White is because the girl is 12 years old, but she has a way with impressions even if she doesn't know what they are. I told her that's an awfully silly dream and she didn't need to worry about it. She just gave me that tween, okay, I don't really know what that is, I'm just guessing, with a shrug and could mean anything and went off to school. Over the past few weeks, I have heard moaning in the bedroom against my
This is
husband.
a special time in a young girl's life.
Against my husband's wishes, I gathered the courage to peek inside her room late at night.
No, don't do
No.
that.
I have confirmed she is neither awake or masturbating, which can only mean she has taken to lucid dreaming a sexual relationship with Elmo's soulful cousin.
So
Yeah.
disappointed in this woman.
Cousin.
As a mother, this leaves me at a crossroads. Do I allow my daughter's sexual fetish to remain unchecked?
Do you allow
or
her to sleep?
or do I step in and have a conversation with her before the issue gets out of hand? And we'll leave that alone. I don't know a thing about being gay, but you kids do. And
What does that have to do with being gay?
And
She
I would
worried her
s-
daughter's a lesbian.
I would ever so much appreciate if she actually explains that. Would ever so much appreciate it if you could help a mother out. What I would like to say is you're wow. Okay,
Wait, is
maybe
that
I am
the
a
end? Because
kid.
she didn't explain it.
No, I'm interrupting
Oh.
to say that you are Brenda. You are, if this is accurate, 8 years older than me. So
Brenda,
Maybe
you're being
kids
such a
is
Brenda
not-
right now.
You're being such
not
a
accurate.
Brenda.
But thank you.
Continue.
Anyway, she says, I'm not an adult who can't see the difference between gays and whatever my daughter might be,
Not gay.
but find me a better comparison if you can.
What?
Anything.
I am
Anything else.
I am at a loss for what this means for my kid, if it means
My
anything at all.
God.
They tell you parenting is full of surprises and to expect the unexpected, but I don't think this is what all those moms and dads meant when they said that. If a seasoned parent saw me with child, gave me that advice, and I replied, like my baby girl lucid dreaming an affair with a hairy red monster, I do not believe for a minute that they would reply, yes, that's exactly what I meant. My husband feels I'm overreacting. I don't want
You
to be
are.
that mom. If I'm going to be that mom by talking to my daughter about intercourse with a muppet, then I will sit this one out. My interest is her best interest, however, and I don't want my little girl meeting her first boyfriend and getting confused about her feelings
Oh
because
my
he's not
God.
covered in fur. Am I
Brenda!
crazy?
Brenda, no! No, Brenda!
Stop it, Brenda.
Wait. She asked, "Am I crazy?" So I think maybe
Yes!
no is not what you were trying to say there.
Girl, dreams are fucking weird. Like, dreams are
She's
being-
12. This
She's
is like
12. She's, yeah.
This is like the first time when you start kind of feeling, I don't know, I feel like your body at like 12 is the first time maybe you're like starting to like masturbate, maybe younger, I don't know, like, but she's dreaming, she's having dreams.
Brenda, this could be
may-
so much worse. She could be having an abortion right now from her cousin. All right, so
Yeah.
you let her have her dreams.
And she may be
about
2
Elmo.
years away from it, Brenda.
And maybe if it was Elmo with a regular Elmo voice, then you'd be concerned. But it's a fucking Barry White voice.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
anything
sexy.
that
That's
she
pretty
felt
sexy.
comfortable
That's hot.
enough to share with you, you should
Yeah.
make her feel weird about
Well,
it.
I mean,
first
I
of
think
all,
all that
first of all, she was only comfortable enough because Deborah pressured her.
Brenda.
Brenda.
Not Deborah.
Brenda,
not a
sorry.
Deborah.
Deborah would never do this.
Deborah, but Brenda pressured her into tell. She was like, she wouldn't tell me. She didn't want to tell me, and I kept asking her. I said, "It's okay."
She
it's okay.
said
I'm not gonna
judgment
judge-
free.
Yeah,
Judgment free.
zone. I
And
don't
then
believe that was
judgment free, and then you
zone,
fucking call her a
Brenda.
lesbian. Like, what the
First
fuck?
of all, call her a lesbian. She's
worried
making
she
that
might be.
compar-
Heavily implied.
Well, I don't know
that she
what
meant-
she's worried
Well,
about.
I think she needs to take a look at the spectrum of different orientations and see that having a dream about elbow as Barry White has nothing to do with where you fall on.
I think what
Wow.
she's trying to say,
Is
if I can play devil's advocate
is
for
it
a
a
second,
joke? 'Cause
is that she's like gay people have the
Fetishes?
secret
Weird fetishes.
Well, they
Yeah,
have,
it's
they
getting
have
worse
a
and worse,
sexuality that is a secret that needs to be discussed at some point, and her daughter also has that. That's the only thing.
Well,
that I
it's
can
no
connect
longer
there.
a secret, and she's not even masturbating to it.
I mean,
she's literally
I
just
know.
dreaming.
I think this
Yeah.
one's pretty easy. Like,
You're crazy.
back off for the most part, but you can always say to your daughter, as any parent can, and no kid wants to hear it, but it should be said, that you're getting into puberty, and I know you don't want to talk about it with your mom, but if you ever need to, or you want me to find someone who you're more comfortable talking to this about, then you can always come to me and I will help you.
And we're actually
And
not
that's it.
bringing up if you want a subsection of it, there is furries.
Yeah.
Who sexualize
Yeah,
furry creatures. I don't know if I would assume Elmo counts as a furry, but if that's what she's into, then that's what she's into. And just let her do the thing.
I mean,
Like,
yes,
let her-
but she's also 12,
dreaming,
and
she's
she's like,
12. She's
yeah, I'm just
12.
saying, but
And
she was
like-
asking for a categorization.
yeah. I mean, it
And
could
Brenda,
be
if you want to talk to a furry, we can hook you up.
Oh yeah.
You can ask
But-
questions.
Lindsay and I
also
have been to furry conventions. We know a lot.
don't sneak into
That's
your
right.
daughter's room when
That's what I was
she's
going to
fucking
say.
moaning.
Get out of her
A lot of
room.
invasions of privacy
And you
going
know what?
across the board.
If you did hear, if I was a mother of a son or a daughter and I heard them moaning and they were 12 years old, I would put on some fucking headphones and wash some dishes because they got to work some things out. And it's not for me to walk in on them and shame them and make them feel weird
And if
about
it's something, and if it's something that
Oh, it doesn't sound like she woke up.
And if it's something that bothers you, because honestly, like personally, if I had a kid that was masturbating and I could hear it, I would be like, "Oh God, I don't want to hear that."
Yeah, well, then I would
Yeah.
talk
Be,
to them,
be a
but she
little
doesn't
bit,
know.
be a little bit like give hints that you heard it or something. Like what I would do is be like,
Oh, I don't know about
"Oh, I
that."
woke up in the middle of the night and like had to go to the bathroom and I heard something. Are you okay? Like, was everything okay last night?"
That's
And then
okay. Yeah,
that just
that's
like gives
okay.
them a hint of like, oh, I
If
was
she's
loud.
sleeping, she can't control it.
Yeah.
Right. But if she's sleeping, because I think her concern was like, is she masturbating? Like, if that was the case, then your daughter would be like, oh shit, I was heard. I should be more careful next time. And if she's sleeping, obviously there's nothing you can do about it. But you wouldn't have known that she was sleeping if you didn't go in there while she was making moaning sounds.
Don't go in her room.
But I'm not sure it's
What?
worth even mentioning on that level because she
I'm
can't
saying
control it.
if it's happened,
I completely
if she
agree
had
with you
not
there.
gone in there and didn't know what it was, like that's how
Yeah.
you handle that situation.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just, I'm like, I don't,
because it's happening multiple nights, so it's possible she could be masturbating.
I just want to make sure it's clear that you're not saying that she should say something to her about this because
No, you don't need to say something about it. I mean it's her dream. Like
She's 12.
she's 12. I
Stop
think-
worrying that she's a sexual deviant.
I know. I think just step back and let it happen, and let her explore herself and discover herself as it happens.
and let her know that you're there for her if she needs something, but don't be explicit about it.
Yeah.
Like if you want her to trust you and come to you and talk to you about this stuff, then or tell you that she needs to talk to somebody else, then that's you want to make that open and easy and you want to remove all the discomfort from that as possible. I think we aren't parents, but I think as people who have been through the child part of that, it's easy enough to say that that's how we would want to be treated. And I don't know. I mean, it's the best you can do. It's awkward.
And make sure to tell her she needs to use a condom if she's gonna fuck her cousin because she doesn't want to have to get a back alley
Or
abortion.
she's gonna
You know what,
fuck Elmo.
Brenda?
Yeah, if she's
Brenda.
gonna fuck Elmo.
I mean, that's
Erica's
I don't
right.
even know. I don't even know what concerns are there for
You're
fucking
worried
Elmo.
about your daughter's dreams. We just spent 45 minutes talking about a 14-year-old girl getting fucked by her cousin in the grass swamps of Georgia, going to get in a bobo, who in a back alley abortion with a folding table and a dirty knife. I think you should leave her alone. Time's up, Brenda.
nobody puts baby in the corner.
It's a perspective thing.
But
I'm glad we had that question.
I know
before
it
this one.
sounds like we're very judgmental, and we are.
And we
but,
are.
But
Not of the daughter. She
but
said
I-
judgment-free
I'm not.
zone.
But I understand that you're like being a parent is hard and you don't know. But just like I don't know, it just coming from your words, it sounded like you were very ignorant, and so that's why.
Way to make that better, Richard.
So that's why
Are
we
you from the
reacted the way
South?
we did.
You don't know
I
anything
feel like
about the gays.
I hear it in the writing. I can't say.
I know she's
for
concerned.
sure. Yeah,
That's
it seemed-
why we. But
Yeah.
the way she wrote it was why we reacted the way
Yeah,
we did.
no, I agree. It's
Sorry
it comes
if we're being
across that
judgmental.
way.
You just sound very ignorant. Yeah, thanks, Richard.
Sorry, Brenda. It's just that we
Also,
hate
thanks
you.
for listening to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for your support.
I think
Stop being such a Brenda.
I think in general, as a parent, if you say it's a judgment-free zone, you should uphold that within yourself.
But she didn't. It doesn't sound like she actually judged her daughter.
But
She
she's
is
judging her
absolutely
now.
Judging
Yeah.
her.
Well, she's judging her in her head.
It's-
I'm saying
That's-
uphold that
but
for
it
yourself.
sent her into a
but the
spiral
zone is
of-
outward, isn't it?
well, she did.
No,
I mean, I
it
guess.
should be inward too. It should be everywhere. It's
I
a
guess to
zone.
be fair, she didn't tell her daughter any of this, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that I mean maybe
she's
she
asking
did, but
us
it doesn't
about it,
sound
so
like it.
fine.
Yeah, I think it's
Right.
a
It
judgment-free
remained
zone
judgment-free outwardly.
It's a
stops
judgment-free
here, Brenda.
zone if the judgment affects no one. So as long as that's not subconsciously coming out in her treatment of her daughter, I mean, like I wouldn't say it was 100% judgment-free just because you're like, oh, that's silly. But I
I
can
know what
understand,
you're getting your daughter for her birthday.
But I can understand what she was trying to do.
Hell
there.
no.
Tickle me, Elmo.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like
That
a
thing's gonna
parody
be
of a
laughing
Maybe
all
we should
night.
call the episode.
In the middle of the night, you do, ha ha.
That tickles. It sure does, Elmo.
Brenda.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking like in the book, Where Did I Come From? Which I don't know where it went again, but it's over in the bookshelf somewhere. They describe an orgasm as a what?
It's
Oh,
right
yeah.
below
I
the
was
facts
like-
of life.
I was like, oh no,
What
not
does it matter
another
where it
spider.
is?
Richard's gonna freak out. Yeah, no, it's up there. Okay, great. They describe an orgasm as a sneeze that feels really good, which I think sneezes feel pretty good. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, you've heard me sneeze.
But I was like, not you.
I hope your
You.
orgasms are nothing like it.
No, that's more like a devil's orgasm. But it's you and my dad.
Okay, we're gonna
All
end this
right,
episode.
Brenda.
Good luck, Brenda.
Yeah, but I thought it was a tickle that felt really good that it had in that book. So that would have been a good reference if I had remembered it correctly.
Oh, but you explained the whole thing to us, so
yes,
it's okay.
I explained the whole thing.
We know anyway.
But what else do you expect?
Thanks for joining us on this episode.
Great.
Use a condom.
If you're fucking your cousin.
Well,
In most situations where you might accidentally
in any other
get someone
scenario, you don't
pregnant,
need it. You don't need it.
use it.
Unless it's your cousin. You're good.
If you have a question for a future episode, visit awkward.email. Don't do what Reginald did and go to an old thread. Start a new one. I never thought of that.
Don't do anything Reginald did.
Well,
Anyone else call me an irritable
don't be.
Canadian? I'm
I
gonna be
think
real
we
irritable with them.
successfully lost
Well,
at
I guess
least
you
2
can shit on
listeners
it.
today.
If not all the people who wrote in.
Well, I tried.
I think Jeremy will keep listening because he's got a lot to deal with, and we might be his only friends along the way.
And also our friend.
Jeremy, let us know how it
dead
goes.
Perfectly fine with
stepdad.
Marco.
Yeah, Marco
yeah.
was fine.
Marco-
Jeremy, let us know how it went. I'm really curious.
And Marco, you take
Yeah.
care of you. And Brenda, go fuck yourself. Or don't.
Or don't.
You're fine.
Your daughter's
She's-
doing it enough for both of you.
She's just a confident mother.
No. Brenda,
Does she
you know we
think
love
Elmo
you,
is gay?
Brenda.
Is that what
We love you,
Elmo's a
Brenda.
child. Elmo
Is
is.
she like,
Brenda,
oh,
you're
well,
the best.
Elmo's gay, so obviously she must be into something gay.
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so
I don't
because
know.
that whole Elmo situation.
No, Elmo's
is-
not gay anymore because he got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Now
God,
he's-
am I
now-
right?
Now he's got a straight man.
Brenda's so
controlling
happy.
his
Brenda led the
asshole.
campaign.
Wait, do Muppets?
Time's up.
Yeah, do Muppets
Time's
have
up,
assholes?
Brenda.
Or are they
No.
on strings?
No.
No,
Wait.
they have assholes.
They have assholes.
Oh, you know, no,
Oh,
no,
you-
you
I
go into the
thought-
back of their head. That's right.
No,
'cause
it's
I
like you
remember
gotta
from
go
the
because
cue.
Elmo's got a whole
They
body.
go into the body.
Yeah,
Yes, they go on
but you
through
don't go
their-
into the
their
body.
taint.
Those are on.
You
Those are
have-
on hooks.
you
Yeah,
have
the hands are on hooks.
You have the
You go
puppeteer
in through the
doing the
taint.
mouth.
But the puppeteer
with
does
the
it from.
hand.
Yeah, does it from the mouth. So
and
we
then
don't-
you have the guy on the string.
So there's no anal rape
There's
of the
two
Muppets.
people.
We've confirmed it.
Okay.
Wait, fist rape.
Thanks for having us.
This is
Bye, you guys.
I hope you
Bye.
enjoy the color purple.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay.
Bye.
Speaking of
Bye.
incest.
Bye.
Speaking of incest, that's
Okay,
exactly
we gotta stop
right.
talking though for it to end.
Oh, okay, bye.
Oh, bye.
Oh, bye.
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 You have a question, story, comment, or whatever for the Awkward Human Survival Guide? We want to hear it. We read everything we get on the show, censored for your privacy if you wish, and might laugh about your problem because tragedy loves humor, but genuinely want to help you out. If you've got something to share with us, even if you think it's stupid, send it in as anonymously or proudly as you wish. You can do all of that at awkward.email. You just go to http://awkward.email. Oh yeah, and watch the videos on YouTube, youtube.com/awkwardhuman.